Good evening and welcome to the final qualifying stem of today's bouquet of darts. And indeed this week's qualifying stem for the week. It is Warren Boy, Wayne Warren, trying to do a very, very difficult job this evening as he sits at the foot of the table in Group B after last night's action. He's not that far away from James Richardson, who is in 4th spot. So the fact that they're playing first is a good thing. You get the feeling with the way that the other three played yesterday, if they continue their form, whoever wins this one will still have a chance, but whoever loses will be cast aside. James Richardson, who has, of course, picked up a weekly title already in week 3. Didn't have a particularly fruitful night last night. He lost by 4 legs to 3 in the opener against Stephen Burton. He lost to Wayne Warren in the very last match of the session, and also lost to Robert Owen. But he did pick up a victory against Chaz Barstow. And that was only Chaz's second defeat in all of the games he has played in the Online Darts Live League in 2021. What can he deliver tonight? 8 points up for grabs for each player, because they will play 4 games each. Each game is best of 7 legs, and of course, if you're in the top 2 of the Group B table by the end of the night, you will make your way to tomorrow's finals, which will involve Scott Baker, who won Group C. Colin Osborne got through, but only just. And Aaron Monk has been there since Wednesday afternoon. James trying to take advantage of a slow start from Wayne, who has had a long week. Played in Group A, got himself in the top 3 via a perfect day on Wednesday, winning 5 games from 5. He's not going to leave a finish here. So James has got himself 6 darts to finish this first leg. Double 16.
16 left.
I don't mind that split with 38 left, with an opponent on 199. I think that's very sensible. He found himself in some deep dark corners yesterday with his doubles. He's just trying to make sure he's got even splits if he misses. He doesn't miss here. That's a solid 19 dart start for James Richardson. Hello, good evening and welcome. Paul the Asset Nicholson here for the last shift of the week for me, as Chris Mason will take the seat tomorrow for the finals, but James Richardson has a job on his hands tonight. At the top of the table before play began, it was Robert Owen with 6 points and a +7 leg difference. Narrowly ahead of Chaz Barstow, who was statistically yesterday the best player. He had the best overall average, the best individual average in a match. He had the most 180s. He had the best checkout percentage. So you would expect, with the form that Chaz is in, that he will get points this evening. We'll have to wait until match 3 to see him, where he will play this man, Wayne Warren, in his first encounter. A bit more buoyant in leg 2 here is Wayne, who before play began this evening had played 19 matches this week.
46.
He had won 9, lost 10, so he's almost 50-50, win percentage of 47%. He's got a high out of 136 and a running average for the week of 83.36. As for Richardson, 31 matches played, 21 wins, a win percentage of 68% and a high checkout of 141. But it's Wayne Warren who is looking at double six. Does not find it. And James has got a little bit of a sniff here. Another for double seven.
7 left.
That one just came out like a rocket. Too much adrenaline on that dart. At least to give it a chance. Wayne Warren gets a lovely kiss into the double six to equalise this game at 1-all. It's a really interesting proposition with Wayne, because when he was towards the bottom of the table on Wednesday, he came up with perfection. He may need the same tonight if he has any chance of making the top two.
Tom.
Before yesterday's play began in Group B, I genuinely thought that James and Chaz Barstow were the favourites to be in the top two. Obviously no disrespect to other players,
120.
but because they had found their way to finals before and won a finals night, maybe we had found one of the places they feel really comfortable playing well. Well, Chaz really did perform last night, but James would admit that he didn't play his best. He left some points out there. He had the 4th best running average of the night.
58.
So, considering that, and his checkered percentage, which was the only one out of every player in the group yesterday that was under 30%, he'd say that 4th place in the table before this game was fair.
89.
Is he going to leave himself on 122 again?
40.
There's your answer. Absolutely not. Two of the biggest reigning champions in modern amateur darts right here. Wayne Warren, the world champion. European champion James Richardson, who is looking at the 17, is he? Well, it's a 3, so treble 19. For double 11. A really, really good find. 15 darters sometimes can always feel the same if you're constantly straight. But sometimes you do have to deviate a little bit around the board to find that 5 visit leg. And on double 11, he has found that for a 2-1 lead. In their game yesterday, James averaged 80.
140.
Wasn't enough to beat the 80 average of Wayne. It was a bit of a tired game, which began after midnight. Local time, of course, is shortly after 9:30 p.m. here in the UK. Wherever you're watching this evening, please don't be afraid to get in touch. Come on, it's Friday night. At the Asset 180 on Twitter, by all means, send your messages this way. And if we have a little lull in a match, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
83.
The fact of the matter is, James Richardson is playing so much better in this game than he did in their fixture yesterday. He's 14 more on his average.
135.
And doubly better on his checkouts. So this is a jump in quality from the man from Rushton in Northamptonshire.
Tom.
But Wayne has got 6 from here. Staying on the 60, even though James is not on a finish. He's now got 70 left. He may go treble 18 now. Well, he comes up with a small 1, and this leg is not over yet. Wayne might only get 1 darted double. James knows that, and he's got to stay on 19s here.
58.
Leaves himself on a favourable number, but he wanted something a lot smaller than that. Double 12. And Wayne Warren picks up his own 15 darters. So this game, definitely after 4 legs, is much better than what we saw in Game 10 last night. It's down to a best-of-3 scenario, as these points are key for both players. Whoever doesn't get them might be cut adrift. We sincerely hope that anybody tuning in after the Premier League enjoys that coverage. Big night for Michael van Gerwen, Johnny Clayton, Gary Anderson, and of course Jose de Souza, who picked up wins. Some incredible performances there this evening. And we saw some excellent darts this morning and this afternoon. Scott Baker with a perfect day, picking up 10 unanswered points. And we went to the wire to see whether Colin Osborne,
45.
Josh McCarthy would follow him into the finals. And it went to the last result. Colin Osborne needing a 4-2 victory to win on countback.
59.
When I say countback, I mean on legs won, not points, not leg difference, not the head-to-head, because they were all the same. He won through based on legs played, but ultimately he needed a 4-2 victory and got a 4-1 victory over Paul Holloway, which got him into tomorrow night's action. So more Aussie tomorrow, more Scott Baker, and more Aaron Monk.
81.
Will it be more ruthless or more yank? There's a sentence I never thought I'd say.
65.
Cuts his score in half. And we'll have a look at that 65.
$44.
Very similar to the previous leg, but the scores are flipped around. James was stuck on 120. And it was 69 for Wayne Warren.
45.
This time, though, the smaller checkout is not taken. Wayne Warren throwing against the darts in this match. May need something like that. That bullseye is really inviting, but he's not going to get a shot at it.
63.
2 10s, and you can't afford to be missing these tonight, James. Unfortunately for him, he has missed both 10s and 5s. Is Wayne Warren going to have one of those nights where everything goes his way, tops? Well, that one didn't go his way. It's pulled at least an inch low. Double 5 is good. That's a really aggressive dart from James Richardson, and that's what you get from him. He's a very aggressive player. Straight in there, he could have easily found a darts rangefinder just above the bed, but he doesn't. He's straight in for 3-2.
$45. 96.
I mentioned James was from the town of Rushton, famous of course for their football team, Rushton and Diamonds, one of the best names of a football club
140.
you could possibly think of. Not really sure if Wayne is a football fan. Being from South Wales, I'm sure he's into rugby.
Tom.
I saw a great tweet about 20 minutes ago saying that it's an anniversary of when Gerwin Price scored a try.
140.
I think it was at the Millennium Stadium something that has gone viral actually since he became World Darts Champion.
1-2-1.
Multi-skilled in Gerwin Price. I'm really looking forward to seeing him come back. But as far as this Online Darts Live League, we have the action this evening and tomorrow's finals, but then
85.
we will take a break. We will not be back with you on Monday, but please stay tuned to the social channels of Online Darts
70.
for more information about future events. If Wayne doesn't take this 91, he might be in a losing position. 86 remain. That is not what he required. James,
34.
in this game, has a high out of 82. He's looking for something more substantial. That helps. Double top. First match dart.
74.
Wasn't far away. Could have been bagging 2 points right there. Could still do it by 4 legs to 2 to reverse the defeat to Wayne Warren from yesterday's 10th match. But boy, oh boy, he is really going to regret that shot.
8.
Sometimes as dart players, you throw a dart that you just don't understand, and he doesn't understand that one at all. Double 5 this time for Wayne. He has to bust the score. James now goes to a different part of the board for more match darts. A somewhat scratchy and scrappy start to the evening's play. Double 4.
24.
And multiple match darts have been missed. He's missed 5 now for the match. And Wayne has missed more to save it. What an unbelievable turn of events. As this one ends with a little bit of a whimper, but the first 2 points of the night go to James Richardson. So his tally for this group goes up to 4. And you fancy that maybe Wayne Warren, with 3 matches to go, that will be the end of him for the end of the week. So we will go into the next match now, which is Stephen Burton and Robert Owen, and they've both got a chance of progressing through the group. Like that, we zoom in with these two guys. Stephen Burton and Robert Owen rejoin us for tonight's Friday night darts action. The 33-year-old from Ipswich, sporting a nice shade of electric blue this evening, and it has been a strip change for the man from South Wales, Bridgend, beautiful town. 36-year-old who will be walking around with a knee brace for the foreseeable future after knee surgery, and more surgeries on the horizon. But right now Robert Owen is top of the table, 6 points and a leg difference of +7. So if he wants to bolster his position at the top of that table, a win here against Stephen in similar fashion maybe to what he did in game 9 last night,
60.
It will be very, very welcomed. A win winning this game for Robert would open up a 4-point gap between him and Stephen with 3 matches to go. It's a very truncated format here in Group B.
54. No, 44.
Robert's closest challenger, Chaz Barstow, will come back for match 3. He has 4 matches tonight, and you just get the feeling that if Robert and Chaz win their first game tonight, that they may take some catching. But you've got to get a good start. Just because you played well on Thursday night does not automatically mean you play well on Friday.
86.
I've had a tweet from Jake Allen Perry saying good evening. Well, good evening, Jake. What are my thoughts on the World Seniors Championships and the people who are involved? Well, we've seen the success of the World Senior Snooker Championship. I think it was just a matter of time before darts got in on the act.
60.
I think the fact that you've got some of the greatest players of all time pitting their wits against each other without politics involved like BDO, PDC and all of that,
100.
I think it could be very, very watchable. I am really looking forward to that in 2022, but I am not going to say
60.
who's going to win that thing just yet, because we don't have a confirmed field. We do have a lot of strong players in it. Someone's got in touch with me just to say that apparently Wayne Warren is an Arsenal fan. Well, if I was allowed to, I'd go and give him a hug, because last night they didn't get through the Europa League semi-finals, did they? They haven't had the best of seasons, and Wayne Warren hasn't had the best of groups.
57.
He's only won 1 game from 5 matches. Robert and Stephen have taken a bit of time to get settled here, but ultimately it is Robert who could get the first shot at double, and it would be for a break of throw. Perfect first start. That is a very, very good third dart, and he takes the break of throw. 1 leg to 0 to the South Welshman, and you just get the feeling that if he can continually improve and put the pressure on Stephen Burton, he may be a bit strong. He is cutting a very focused figure over the last few days.
Come on, man. 43.
But the one thing that will kick in today for the likes of Owen and for Wayne Warren
137.
is possibly a little bit of tiredness. Both of them haven't had a great deal of action over the last few months. They will sleep very well when they go back to South Wales after this event this week.
100.
Robert Owen has played 19 matches before this one began this week.
125.
12 wins, 7 defeats, a win percentage of 63%, which is the 3rd best of the playing bunch this evening.
100.
Trust me, nobody can touch Chaz Barstow's win percentage of 88%. High check out of 141 from Rob, which was earlier in the week, off the back of a 180. That's the best 6-dart conversion we've seen this week, 321.
100.
I'm not going to see a 142 from Stephen.
94.
We are going to see a decent approach from the person who has got a win percentage of 50%. 18 played, 9 wins, 9 defeats, but a 158 is hit by Rob Owen. What a shot that is, to give yourself a hold of throw to back up the break from leg 1. That came out of the clear blue sky, but it gets him to the halfway point for a potential valuable 2 points in this game. Just going to scribble down that his highest finish of the week has changed. But it's not the highest finish of all the players in this group, because that belongs
100.
to Stephen Burton with 160.
60.
Stephen was really, really well positioned before that 158 to potentially level things up. But Owen is playing, like I said, with a focus all about
62.
wanting to play darts right now, stack attack.
60.
The fact that he's got a damaged knee doesn't make any difference. He might be waddling along as he walks, but there's no pressure on his lead leg. He can still play a really, really good game.
76.
It is late at night, and I'm sure his kids might be watching on YouTube.
100.
He's probably thinking those kids should be in bed. But with the amount of devices at their disposal, I'm sure they're probably watching Daddy play. Young Jack and young Freya.
139.
He's first to the finish once again. This
105.
could be another important finish here. This is a lot easier than the 158 he took out in the last leg. It's now impossible though.
40.
Another single for tops.
60.
Stephen Burton misses and offers Robert the chance for a 3-0 scoreline. $14 for Bull. A double 11.
Oh, Robert. Right.
Just
73.
pushed that one a little bit. Didn't come out pure.
In one.
And Stephen Burton takes advantage and gets his first leg of the evening. And maybe that is just a really good response, considering the position he was in the previous leg. He was hit with a huge check out. He's come back well, looking to equalise things after 4 now.
$96. $100.
The highest average from yesterday's play came from Chaz Barstow. 103.19 average. And nobody got anywhere close to that yesterday. But Robert is not the kind of player that concerns himself too much with averages.
57.
I've looked at a few players over the course of the last 8 weeks, and I would say that Keelan Kay and Richard North are the king of what's my average.
140.
As far as decent legs are concerned, this is more than decent.
140.
85 for a 3-1 lead, and with the best leg difference in this field, if he can widen that gap, that would be very handy.
29.
Not really sure what happened on that second dart. Did he hit the wire of the bullseye, or did the dart not come out of his hand right?
100.
To be within 1 of 2 more points. Double top. Double 10 has been a friend this week, all week long. 3-1 up now, in charge of this one. And by virtue of that huge out from leg 2, he has given himself the opportunity to win this by quite a large margin. Can he win 4-1? Let's find out.
$140.
I just had a tweet from James Richardson's wife, Carolyn. And she tells me that James is an Ipswich fan.
65.
Not another one. There's so many in darts. Keith Della, Kevin Painter, Ryan Meikle.
100.
pretty certain that Stephen Burton's an Ipswich fan as well.
100.
Let me just revel in the fact, everybody, that my team have won tonight.
42.
Yeah, I didn't expect Newcastle United to get anything at Leicester City, but they've come away with a 4-2 win. And I do believe they were 4-0 up. So I'm glad I'm sitting down, because that's the kind of thing that makes me dizzy. I should put Newcastle United safe for the Premier League for next year. Amazing stuff from the lads. Both of the averages in this game are incredibly similar. 86 and change. And the possibility of a 4-1 victory. Well, that's slipping away for Rob Owen. Double 18.
18 left.
Rapid fire stuff from these two. Not slow players. Double 9 is not an easy double. He stands on the right hand side of the hockey, does Stephen Burton. Gotta give it a go. And he's unable to do it. And Rob Owen is looking at 55 for a big win to take his leg difference to +10. 7 legs ahead of Chaz Barstow and 2 points ahead of him. Double 10. Really, really well done. Wins 4-1. And he is getting very, very close to being safe for the finals. But he still has more work to do. He will return in a couple of games' time against James Richardson, one of the chasing pack. But first, let's get a look at Chaz Barstow as he plays Wayne Warren. to game number 3 of tonight's action. Robert Owen has made his first move towards the finals. Started tonight's Group B table in the lead over Chaz Barstow on leg difference, but he now has a 2-point cushion. It's now up to Chaz to keep pace as he takes on Wayne Warren for the second time in 24 hours. Yesterday when they met, it was 4-2 to Chaz. Averages were very similar, but the difference between the two was just on the outer ring. Slightly sharper was the man from Winchester. What will we get from this one tonight? Well, Wayne has been cut adrift at the bottom of the table. He is currently there on 2 points and 6 points behind Rob Owen.
100.
Has to win his remaining fixtures, you feel, to have any chance. But if he loses
1, 3, 4.
this game here, Wayne Warren is out. Simple as that. It's been a pleasure having him here this week. And in every likelihood, he's not going to make the finals. But if he can make it from this position, it will be somewhat Lazarus-esque.
1, 3, 4.
Chaz is fast. Chaz is accurate. Chaz is great to watch. And so far, in the time that he's been playing in the Online Darts Live League, he's been winning most of the time, and he hasn't played anybody called Dave. So I haven't had a chance to say Chaz against Dave yet, which is really disappointing.
96.
But he's played 90... Actually, I'm looking at the wrong person. He's played 16 games. He's won 14 of those 16 matches. Only lost to Paul Hogan and James Richardson.
100.
And he has been in a class of his own when it comes to win percentage. 58 left.
97.
Leaving a double after 12 is something he has been doing a lot this year. He's going to get a look at that tops.
7.
Double 10.
20.
I'm very surprised that wasn't hit. And I will explain why in a few seconds. But first, Wayne Warren for 64. Check out that isn't taken.
56.
After the 48 was hit, I think Jazz feared the worst. But it has gone his way. He takes the first leg with his 4th attempt on the outer ring. He has been the best in the average. He has been the best on the checkouts. He's been the best at most things. Now it's just about keeping pace with Robert Owen at the top of the table. He had the best running average yesterday of 92.58.
19.
He had the most 180s of everybody, getting 7. Next closest challengers had 5. He had the best 180 ratio, so he was more likely to hit 180s every leg that was played. And his checkered percentage last night was particularly eye-catching. 51.85%. So hitting more than 1 every 2 darts at double. He also had the most ton plus checkouts as well, including his best in an Online Darts Live League match of 126. He is a very, very dangerous customer. I'm not going to be here for the finals,
60.
but I will be watching it because I'll be fascinated to see how Aaron Monk gets along with the likes of Baker and Osborne.
54.
And if Barstow's in that mix, he's going to be tough to beat. Barstow, of course, is a place in California. So maybe that's got something to do with his surname, potentially. A lot of surnames are to do with people and places.
58.
Is Wayne's surname something to do with rabbits? Because that's where they live, isn't it? Warrens. Double top for Wayne. Very good. Much better than the previous leg. This time he gets it in one. And he had a couple of shots to try and equalise or get the lead in the first leg. But he does equalise right here against the dangerous Chaz Barstow into leg 3 then. That's the predicament for Wayne. If he loses this match to Chaz, he will be
140.
6 points adrift of not just Chaz but Rob Owen. With only 2 matches remaining, he would not be able to catch their total.
83.
So we would lose our first player. So Wayne is officially on knockout territory here. Considering the standard that we saw in Group C, which for me was a little bit down today, we saw some tired play. Look at the running averages of the players from last night. Rob Owen 89, Chaz Barstow 92, 89 for Burton, 88.9 for Richardson, 82 for Wayne Warren. That's a decent standard.
60.
Overall, 88 for the night. And that's about 3% better than the mean average of everybody throughout the 8 weeks. So well done, guys. You get a tick from me.
$85.
It's going to be a big match next between James Richardson and Rob Owen. They both won their first match of the night.
138.
Richardson only on 4 points. Owen can eliminate him if he beats him.
100.
Barstow looking for his second
Game in 1.
break of throw, and it's exactly what he gets. He sharpens up on the outer ring, considering where he was a little bit earlier in the match. Took him 4 darts to get the first leg. This time it's just the 1. So he is very sharp and very much in control with the break in the bank. Earlier in the campaign when he won week 2, I was marvelling at the old school nature of his equipment. There's a lot of newfangled tungsten kit out there these days to choose from. But he's got these old bomber darts, which have got a bit of weight behind them. It's not about how a dart looks, it's about how it feels in your hand
121.
and where it ends up. Who cares what your dart looks like as long as it lands in the right place, right? If only it were that simple.
83.
I guarantee you I could not throw Chaz's darts. The barrel's a bit short.
140.
It doesn't have enough grip. It doesn't really matter that he's left 159 because he is well in control here. He's just realised what he's left. He's got company all of a sudden after that maximum.
Uh, 80.
Just a little messy, that visit. Could have made things easier on himself. You can tell by his expression. Trying to leave double 19.
85.
Barstow can be 3-1 up here if he finds tops after a single 20. Or double 10.
10 left.
Again, just a little bit erroneous. You can tell by his demeanour at the back of the room as to how he feels about it. And it could be a 4th consecutive break. That's exactly what it is. I've mentioned the word erroneous and words messy and a little bit squiffy in places, that leg, but to have 4 breaks of throw, we have 2 players who probably should be more in the lead, especially Chaz Barstow.
Steve.
In a good standard game though, both averaging 94. Both decent on the doubles, 50% for Wayne,
58.
which is better than what he did against James Richardson in game 1 because he was only 12% there. Chaz at 33%, that's not bad, but that is down on what he was doing yesterday.
100.
$93.
I look at the way that Chaz plays the game, and it really does remind me of a young Ronnie Baxter.
125.
Dart towards his eye, slightly to the side. No nonsense throw, delivered brilliantly.
180.
Really does remind me of Baxter when he was playing around the turn of the century. He was making a match play final and Lakeside finals. I do like to pay dart players the best compliment I can possibly think of. I think that's a really big compliment. 2 treble 19s will be the target.
59.
I think Wayne was just struggling to see what he's got left here. He's got 156. Hit that second dart.
Deep.
Are we looking at a 5th break of throw?
Oh, that's close.
That was
Wing
not
left.
close. He's absolutely right. That offers Wayne the chance to hold finally. What is it they say? My kingdom for a hold? Double 4. Really nice shot. He takes the lead against Chaz, and he just sensed that Warren knows that if he loses this match, he's got no chance of making the finals. It's a knockout situation for him, but a defeat here would really damage Barstow's chances. And it's a game that could potentially have Chaz tearing his hair out, because the chances he's had in this match, of which there have been plenty, 7 opportunities to Wayne's 6. He knows he should be in front himself.
45.
Got to try and get yourself out of jail here.
140.
And the only way he knows how is to play fast, effective darts.
81.
Look at the impression he's left in the board.
80.
That is really, really unlucky. There's nothing to do with the board that when it was just that big thick barrel just clattering into the previous piece of tungsten. All of the momentum
41.
was taken to the floor. It hasn't hurt him. And this time he gets it right with the first 2.
36 left.
And he does get the third one right as well. 150 approach to leave double 18 after 12. Looks like we're going to a last leg decider.
55.
2 holds of throw in a row. That's what we have. 14 darter from Chaz Barstow, and we're coming into a very important leg for Wayne Warren. Lose this and you can't get through, but if Chaz Barstow wins, he does have every chance of getting through. Really great visit to start the leg. 97 average for Chaz, 87 for Wayne.
57.
They don't really mean anything anymore. It's all about this one leg. And Wayne is answering the call two treble visits.
4135. I think it is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah.
That was a 1-2-5. Confirmed by our scorer.
85.
Two treble visits, like I said, in the first two visits to the board. That's very strong in a last leg decider. 196 left, and he wants to stay on the 20s. Oh, he hasn't left to finish.
43.
Does Barstow find something sizable here to get himself back in the leg? Yes, he does.
135.
Definitely not out of it yet. What a great last start from Wayne.
100.
Guaranteed shot at 93 for the 2 points. To draw level with Richardson on 4 and Burton on 4.
60.
He's still going to be underneath them in the table because of his leg difference, but he's not out of it mathematically. Still got to go for the treble 19. Barstow does have the chance to knock Wayne Warren out. But not on this occasion.
40.
Just a bit of a messy approach shot that from Chaz. Top left corner. And he misses 2 match darts.
40.
Chaz will be writhing at the fact he didn't leave this lower.
Come on.
Nat treble 5 scuppers everything. 109 cannot be done with 2 darts. That leaves him 52. It's not in his hands. It's in this man's. Match dart number 5. And at double 5 he misses. Barstow now 3 darts at tops. And he misses 3. It's all getting very edgy here. Well, well, well. Double 5 with his 6th match dart. Lucky number 7 keeps him in, but only just. And Chaz Barstow is now firmly behind Robert Owen in the table on points after they've played the same amount of games. But if Wayne Warren wants to somehow get through, he'll have to keep winning these games that are coming in front of him. Going into the next one, it is James Richardson and Robert Owen. Robert Owen could all but book his place in the finals if he wins. Last game ended with a bit of drama, didn't it? Wayne Warren keeping himself in the hunt, but only just. If Robert Owen sees the finals in his future, he might be able to punch his ticket after this game, because if he wins this match, he will get to 10 points in Group B. And with 2 games remaining for most players, he should be safe. But now with Wayne Warren on 4 points, Richardson on 4 points, Burton on 4 points, and Barstow on 6, it's all bunched up behind him. If he can maintain the form that he's been showing the last couple of nights, he will be all but there. But if he does lose to Richardson, everything to play for going into the middle portion of tonight's play. Wayne Warren winning 4 legs to 3 with an 86 average there. Defying the 93 average of Chaz Barstow. Just goes to show you don't have to have the better average to win a match.
60.
It's called the old James Wade formula. James suffered that tonight against Michael Van Gerwen. He had 110 and lost. That's darts. I have to say though, tonight the action has been a little scrappy at times. We haven't seen a pristine performance from anybody yet. So I'll be fascinated to see how things progress from here. Some of these players have played a lot of darts, either this week
100.
or over the last couple of months. And as we take a break after this week is completed, that'll give everybody a little bit of a chance just to take stock
83.
and figure out where they're at. And these two are stablemates in one respect. They're from the same manufacturer of their barrels. They really are looking to vault themselves back into the elite.
40.
When darts are colliding the way they did with that second one, that's not going to help. You don't get anything for a dart on the floor. Not in this game. Hello. That's the second time he's had a 1-4-1. That equals his best finish of the entire week. And he is starting to make a move early here. Maybe he recognises that he doesn't want to go through the whole stressful process that Colin Osborne went through earlier, and he wants to get through to the finals as quick as possible. If Robert Owen does get to 10 points via this game, he will effectively eliminate
60.
James Richardson from the possibility of getting top spot in the table. Richardson
140.
and Wayne Warren would not be able to catch Robert Owen. He'd be out of sight. With 2 games remaining for James and for Wayne, they would only be able to get to 8 points, and Owen would be at 10. But with Chaz Barstow and Stephen Burton still with 3 matches to go,
180.
they are very much still in it. Especially with Barstow losing his first game of the night and only his 3rd, of course, in all the games he's played here. It's Owen, though, who is showing the form.
$100. $83.
81 for 2-0. It was all about the 81 because it's the same sort of combination as the last time in leg 1.
Oh, Rob.
How's that missed?
57.
He will not believe that that didn't just fall another millimetre. Yesterday when they played, it went all the way for Robert Owen, all the ways that he wanted it to. 4-0, the only 4-0 of the entire night. 2 more on the wire. And he finds it with the 3rd one. I tell you what, that was a beautiful dart. He didn't have much of that bed to aim at. maybe half of it at the top. He's halfway to victory already. He's won 6 straight legs against James Richardson now.
$140.
Doesn't seem to want to hang back, does he? I think playing at night as opposed to
45.
during the day agrees with Rob Owen. He's only lost 1 match so far in this group to Chaz Barstow. And that was 4 legs to 3.
59.
Since then, he just hasn't looked like losing.
$41.
This is a very good performance so far. He's averaging around 100.
Come on, Rob, man. 58.
He really is trying to extract all of his ability tonight. He does not want to relinquish this top spot in the group.
41.
Richardson is playing below his powers tonight, though, and indeed over the last couple of nights. He has not been
60.
what we saw from
100,
earlier
sorry.
in the campaign in week 3, where he won the weekly title. Just lacking a bit of sharpness for whatever reason.
84.
And it's Owen who has 6 starts from 144. I was just about to say, is he on double 12 again?
96.
Well, he's not going to go 2 double 12s, I assure you of that. What he might do is win his 7th consecutive leg and put himself within 1 leg of winning this game. Double 8.
Oh, Rob, that's crap. 32.
James can do absolutely nothing about where Robert is. He is renowned as a very aggressive
60.
180 scorer, but it just isn't happening for him tonight. Double 4. 3 more misses.
12.
The early prowess seems to be forgotten. James is trying to make something happen here. The treble 18 route would have left 2 double tops.
38.
That might have sparked him into action, but this is a bit of a damp squib leg. Double 1. And that one just rushed.
No score.
It does take a definitive amount of time to deliver the dart. And that double 1 shot really was rushed. But that first start of James was perfect. He was just about to go for the double 18 before he dropped the dart. He resets himself. Doesn't get it right. Back to double 2 we go. Double 1 is there, and he has somehow won that leg in 26 darts. Earlier in the match, his average was very good indeed, but it has plummeted and fallen off a cliff. But he will not care about that at this point because he's 3-0 up.
Tom.
Look at some of the
58.
fixtures that are left and some of the potential swings that could happen. It's all about that quest for second place by the looks of it, because Owen is staring down 10 points. 4-point gap at the top of the table.
140.
Last thing he wants is to lose from 3-0 up. It's not impossible, because it has been done a few times over the course of the last few weeks.
91.
Robert will look to leave the same number via the 19s. 3 more. Or indeed the 60 would have left 167. He recognised the opportunity.
95.
That last dart just makes things a little bit simpler.
Oh, well, yeah. 43.
Is he faltering at the wrong time? Richardson just needs something clean.
In 2.
I'd say that's pretty clean. 14 darter is in stark contrast to what we saw in the previous leg. He's made sure that he has won his first leg against Rob Owen in this group. He's not going to be double bageled by the man from Bridgend. That is for certain. Double bagel is something you'd probably see on Man versus Food.
140.
Something that genuinely hurts when it happens. You hate being beaten to nil. I distinctly remember losing once to Mark Hilton by 6 legs to nil in the last 16 of a tournament in Dinslaken in Germany.
60.
It may have been Gladbeck. I'm pretty certain that was a tournament that James Richardson made the final of against Colin Osborne.
26.
That was 10 years ago in October, when Mark Hilton beat me 6-0. I said, the next
100.
time I play him, I'm going to reciprocate that. I had to wait 2 years to play him again. And the next time I played him, I beat him 6-0, because I didn't forget that defeat.
10.
Now, James is not going to reciprocate the 4-0 that he got from Robert yesterday, but he is not going to give up from this position. But things are getting very difficult
100.
for him to get the result here. He needs more mistakes from Robert, and they might not come.
135.
Treble 19 again. Does leave
69.
himself handily placed. Can you find this? There's your answer. 3 clean darts at a double you like.
88.
That is what you want at the start of a match, with a nice cushion behind you. Double 16.
Well,
It's right in there the first time of asking. Someone has just made it to 10 points, and he's pretty much there. We're going to do a few calculations to make sure that Robert is there, but he's in a very, very good position. 4 points ahead of anybody else as the battle for second spot intensifies. The next game between Barstow and Burton is a key match for that. 5 of the evening, and it signals a return to the hockey for Chaz Barstow, who will take on Stephen Burton, who we haven't seen since game 2, where he suffered a 4-1 loss to Robert Owen, who has since doubled his tally for the night and has taken the lead in the daily table, and of course has bolstered his position at number 1 in the Group B table as well. 10 points and plus 13 and well clear at the top. It's fair to say that he's very safe in that position unless everything goes wrong from here.
Okay, it's Chaz throwing first. Game on.
Chaz yesterday, when playing Stephen Burton, had his best performance and the best performance overall in this group so far. 4-2 victory with an average of over 103. He started tonight with a defeat to Wayne Warren in what can be described for him as an infuriating match. He had everything in his control and he let things slip.
140.
Got to get back on the winning train immediately, just to try and keep the chasing pack at bay, because the people behind him,
80.
of which Stephen is included, they're all on 4 points, only 2 points behind him. So to fend them off, the best thing he can do right here
60.
is get that 4-point gap back. He would be within 1 victory of the finals if he can find a victory here against Stephen.
100.
He's himself on 104 to 12. Tidy stuff.
88.
This could be an early settler.
56.
Burton loves these checkouts. Double 18. It's almost like I know his game. I've been going around the same circles as Stephen Burton for the last few years, and you just start to see patterns with players like him. He likes the rat-a-tat-tat shots, the bing-bang-bongs, the bing-bong shots like that for the 96. That is 1-0. Call them what you will.
180.
Is he going to cause more problems for Chaz Barstow? Is Chaz going to be embroiled
60.
in a battle for that second spot? Now, technically,
60.
Stephen Burton can still catch Robert Owen at the top, because he has 3 matches left. He has this one, he has a game against Wayne Warren, and the final match of the night against James Richardson. So he can still get the 10 points. He's got a 16 leg gap to close in leg
76.
difference, admittedly, which can be done.
93.
You just get the feeling, with the way things are materializing in this group now, that second spot is very much in the reach of everybody, and Robert Owen is looking down on everybody else.
140.
And Burton's looking for another bing bong finish.
Came in 2.
There you go. The 2-dot conversions, he's very, very good at them, and he plays at the same pace as Chaz. They're both going to be comfortable with this pace, but so far tonight it's Burton who has got the jump. Not used to seeing Chaz lose. Lost 1 game last night, he's already lost 1 tonight.
41.
How can he respond after losing the first 2 legs in this contest? Burton averaging over 107.
100.
He's going to have to get some super glue for those flights. They keep popping out. That used to happen to mine a few years ago, and Mervyn King had a word with me and said, "Get some glue for your stems, will you? You constantly picking those flights off the floor, it's doing my head in." So what did I do? I said, "Yes, sir."
100.
I ended up going to a beauty shop and getting some nail glue because it's a bit more flexible than regular super glue. You wouldn't believe how many sets of flights and stems I used to go through when I was using glue. Maybe 3 sets of flights a day, 3 sets of stems a day.
95.
I suppose that's the benefit about being sponsored by a company. Double 10. That one's miles off. That one is not. That is right on the target. And he narrows the gap to 1 as Chaz Barstow is finally in this match. Stephen Burton let that one slip, but will he get a 3-1 advantage after the 4th leg? Let's find out. We have an all-Welsh clash coming up between Wayne
82.
Warren and Robert Owen. And a win for Rob. And he is in the finals.
134.
Now the scenario for Wayne is as such.
135.
If Barstow wins this match and gets to 8, and Robert Owen wins the next match, Wayne Warren is out.
100.
Wayne has been clinging on all week long. He doesn't go quietly.
96.
Got to get to a finish here. Gets there, but only just. We've seen a 158 tonight from the man from Bridgend.
140.
We might need something bigger. 54 potentially, or bull. And this is a great opportunity for Stephen Burton to be 3-1 up.
Game in 2.
He's done it again. 3 times in this match. 96, 55, 48. Done perfectly without missing a double. And that is how you beat Chaz Barstow by the looks of it. Very, very impressive on the checkouts.
140.
So in order for Chaz to get the result here, he has to wrap off 3 straight legs. And judging by the way that Stephen has played so
139.
far, Chaz is not able to afford any shots at a double for Stephen.
140.
Back-to-back 140s. He's got to be careful with that leg difference as well.
91.
Because if he does lose this 4-1, he's going to be demoted to 3rd in the table for the first time since this group began. There will be a 6-leg swing.
91.
He's in the position at the minute, if he's going to lose another match, he has to lose it really tight. He may only be afforded the 1 defeat. He might have to win the rest of his games. He's got James Richardson next,
85.
and then Rob Owen to finish. Not easy.
100.
You can't miss this. Burton's on a 2-darter. He's been taking those to the cleaners in this game. Double 10.
50.
I fear for Chaz Barstow's chances. This time it's a 3-darter.
60.
He has missed for the first time in this match, and it was the match dart that he missed, but Chaz Barstow does not miss. He skirts and sees a bullet fly past his ear as he stays alive in this one at 3-2 down, and he still has every chance of getting out with a win. Best quality game of the night, and what is it about these
85.
two playing each other? It was the best game yesterday. It's the best game today, standard-wise. Burton averaging over
93.
100. Chaz around 96.
100.
I think they just like playing this pace. Every now and again, you come up against an opponent that you really like playing, not because of
49.
who they are, but because you're happy playing at their pace. You don't have to constantly remind yourself to play at your own.
134.
You may ask me who I enjoyed playing against in that respect. Well, it was Phil Taylor.
99.
I like playing at Phil's pace. I hated playing at Ricky Evans' pace.
105.
Genuinely despised it. And Stephen has done a lot of things right in this game. He's played exceptionally well.
140.
77. And it's tops again for the match.
In 3.
Job done.
Right,
4-2 to Stephen Burton. He grabs his place towards where Chaz already is. They're going to be very close in the table now. I'm not exactly sure where they are. I'll do that calculation in a second. But the race for the second spot is on, and it will continue with Robert Owen now playing Wayne Warren. If Wayne Warren is defeated, it'll be bye-bye win. Match number 6 here at the Online Darts Live League for Friday night. The All Welsh clash that we've seen already 4 times this week. And this will be a decider for their head-to-head. I suppose the question on everybody's lips is, will we see both of them again tomorrow night? It's not looking likely, I will say that. It's looking incredibly likely that we're going to see this guy tomorrow night. He's got a 4-point gap to 2 players on 6 points. His tally of 10 is looking very strong right now, but he has got a gap of 6 to that of Wayne Warren, who has 2 matches left, the same as Robert. Everything is getting very interesting for the chasing pack. But if Robert finds another win here, not only will he win the head-to-head for these two for the week, but he would definitely be the person at the top of the group table come the end of play tonight.
100.
So Wayne Warren, best case scenario, beat Rob Owen here, beat Stephen Burton, register 8 points, and hope that his leg difference
55.
is sufficient enough. It's currently the worst of everybody at -7. That's why we think he's going to have to win both of his games by margins. Big margins, possibly to 0.
81.
But when he had his back against the wall on Wednesday to try and get himself off the bottom of the Group A table, he did a darn fine job of that. He's been starting to
140.
play proper darts. Averaged 86 in his win over Chaz Barstow, who has since lost another game to Stephen Burton. We've had our first ton-plus average of the night, and it has come from Stephen
60.
Burton, 100.75. But as impressive as that is, I don't think it's as impressive as his doubles percentage, which was 80%.
45.
4 hits from 5 attempts. That is exceptional. Had a tweet from David Payne saying shout out for Chopstick and the Hook, whoever they are. That sounds like a 1970s rock band.
81.
Apparently he's won his first game of bowls in 10 years. Well, long time coming. 10 years to wait for a game of
85.
bowls win. Fair play, that's what you call dedication. Well, thank you for joining us, David. We really appreciate your company this evening. Sounds to me like you've already had a very productive day. Single 10 is good. Is double 10 good? Just get the feeling that
40.
Wayne Warren knew that wasn't in as soon as he threw it. Well, if Robert Owen thinks he is safe so far, he's
37.
only half right, because his leg difference has got him very safe, but his points tally is not 100% safe yet. Double 2 is dangling in there. Take it out the board,
Yep.
Wayne. Take it out the board. He's just making us wait for it, as he was just pressing on that dart. And he does take a 1-0 lead over his Welsh rival, who is in a better position than him, but Wayne is scrapping for his own position. Had a couple of close matches this week on Monday and Wednesday when Wayne won, because it is 2-2.
135.
It was 4-3. When Owen wins, it is by a slightly larger margin. 4-2 on Tuesday, 4-1 last night.
100.
Robert averaged 86 and got 40% on his doubles in that win over Wayne by 4 legs to 1 yesterday. And judging by Wayne's performances
60.
tonight already, that might be good enough to get another 2 points. Time will tell.
40.
I have to say, I was of the opinion that maybe this would be over by now. I thought we would have
81.
Robert Owen and Chaz Barstow already through, but the only person who hasn't picked up points tonight is Chaz. He's lost 2 from 2.
80.
Throwing a bit of a... what is it? A Mentos into a Diet Coke? Making things a bit more explosive this evening.
90.
Or have I just been watching too many science videos on Instagram?
$140.
That 140 from Wayne gets him back in touch with Robert's position. He's already had the biggest check out of the night, a 158, biggest of the group.
793.
Stephen Burton has had a 160.
41.
Double 16 for a level game. I expect this one to go long. How long? Well,
What's that?
it goes into leg 3 because that is another fine find on the outer ring. He had a bit of trouble against James Richardson in one of the legs where he ended up finishing on double 1. But when he found double 16, it was a match start in that previous game, and he's just found it again for the second leg of this contest.
50.
Just had a nice text from an old friend of mine in Ireland who I haven't seen in a little while, and I'm sure there are a lot of people out there watching this who haven't seen some of their friends
180.
from other parts of the world for quite some time. That's the thing about this job that we do because we love it. We've got friends from all over the world. My friend Alan Keown and his
40.
wife Fiona over in the beautiful country of Ireland. They're tuning in this evening, so hello to you too, you beautiful people. Can't wait to come back to Ireland. And Robert Owen is looking to come back to the 141 because he's already had one tonight and he's had one earlier in the week. Is he going to get his third 141 checkout for a 9 darter? Come on, Rob. Not meant to be. And the funny thing was,
100.
the 141 he got earlier in the week was off the back of a 180. The most important thing right now is that he is staring a
100.
2-1 lead in the face. Double 16 again. He's afforded another try. Tell by his reaction to missing it twice. He's just not happy to amble over the line. He wants to hit everything he goes for, and he's hit quite a lot in this leg. He's also hit that double 16 once more. 13 darter, and he takes the lead at 2-1. Wayne Warren is now on the cusp of elimination. Robert Owen looking very good to try and win the head-to-head for the week by 3 games to 2. A break in the bank, averaging a good 12 points more in this match than Wayne. He has been the better player. Not just tonight, not just in this group, but throughout the course of the week.
$100.
Should be a fairly busy summer for Wayne Warren, who will defend his World Modern Amateur Darts title against Jared Cole, the #1 contender, at some point in the summer. And more Modern Amateur Darts events have been announced today. One in particular, which Wayne, I'm sure, will love to be part of, the Golden Gauntlet. The Royal Rumble of Darts. I
45.
absolutely can't wait for that. Just remember, of course, that the Modern Amateur Darts system can be used by the people playing in the online Darts Live League because they don't have tour cards. So, would we potentially see Robert Owen as one of the super regional champions from Wales getting himself in that event too? He is the holder of the title for the Wales Sharks.
52.
Makes sense, really, when you think about his nickname. The Sharks. Something to do with attack.
43.
It wouldn't just be stack attack, it would be shark attack. Or shark stack attack. Something along those lines, anyway. Got 6 starts from 152 for a 3-1 lead.
60.
Somewhat flat 60 there. Not every player can sing their scores like Martin Adams or Stephen Burton.
58.
Not everybody is happy with just 60. He will be happy if he finds his way to double 16 again, and has done so. He just keeps hitting it. He has missed it a couple of times in this game, but predominantly he is getting it done. He's only one leg away now from booking his place in the finals, and at the same time eliminating Mr. Warren. If he does lose this leg, the leg difference of Wayne Warren will be -10.
60.
And it will be too much to bridge. He could only get to -6 if he won 4-0 against Stephen Burton. And that's still not going to cut it.
85.
The back of his shirt, he's got Wayne Warren in iridescent yellow. And a nice heart above it. Well, we all love Wayne Warren. We all have loved having him here. But he's not going to be playing Saturday night. He will be making his way back
140.
to the Valleys over the course of the next 24 hours.
100.
Maybe he's got more legs in him before he does play Stephen Burton in match number 8. It's a fabulous 140.
85.
Nice sleeve of a 156. Everybody loves that finish. But he might not get a look at it. A change of tactic there from Wayne Warren, who would usually try and leave tops. But I get the feeling that watching Robert Owen hit so many double 16s, he thinks that maybe, surely it's easy to hit that then. So I'll have a crack at it. And he was right, because it's 3-2 now. Make sure to keep tuned into the social channels of Online Darts and of our partners over the coming week or so. We are taking a bit of a break after this, but we may return.
140.
Would you like us to? Just imagine if the travel corridors were to open up a little bit more. Based on the news from the UK today, we could potentially invite players from Gibraltar without the need for quarantine. We could invite players from Australia and New Zealand, Singapore, and some other countries of a very small nature. But we will do so within the guidelines and very safely. The safety of all players comes first. Robert Owen, 6 starts from here. Double 10. And that is a first start missed to make his way to the finals. He will get 3 more. He knows he's very, very close. And Wayne Warren knows that he is looking at the exit door. Double 10. Somehow,
No score.
Robert Owen has not found double 10. I think Wayne Warren is thinking, how did you miss that? That one signifies 3 more shots at double 10. 64 left. And that leaves double 8, just in case Robert has more trouble. Second time of asking. And that one is even closer.
Well, I can't believe that.
He can't believe it.
No score.
I can't believe it. Wayne can't believe it. I'm sure you guys watching on can't believe 6 starts on the wire of double 10. And in pops Wayne Warren to steal leg 6. It happens sometimes. I have a bit of a career myself where I've done that. So we're going to the edge of this one. We thought Wayne Warren was looking at the exit door. He's very much still here.
28.
We're about to find out what Robert Owen is made of after all those misses.
100.
It's one of those sports where when you get a bit cheesed off, it can help you if you can channel your emotions properly.
60.
Make no mistake, Robert Owen is feeling cheesed off right now that he is still playing in this match.
140.
And you may say to yourself, well, why would you not want to play more darts? Well, that's all well and good when you're just playing. But when you're in a match, you want to get the win as soon as possible. That's the competitive mindset. Decent leg. Could have been a little bit better. Double 10 has been very good to him this week. But it has maybe got
100.
one back on him in this match. Great first start. It's perfect. Superb. And he's left double 12 with an impeccable approach. So if you can't win the match on double 10, try something else. And again, he's got 6 darts for it. Can he get it done sooner? Double 6. Double 10's neighbour. That's 9 misses for the match. I believe he had a shot at tops as well, so that may be his 10th match start. Do yourself a favour, Robert. Do not miss an 11th, 12th and 13th. Double 6. Gets there just about. And talk about ambling over the line. Well, Robert Owen has done that. He now has guaranteed himself as the winner of Group B. So congratulations to Robert, as Wayne Warren is eliminated, but he will have 1 match left. The race for the 2nd place in this table, so 1 place is still up for grabs to the finals, very much alive, as we have Chaz Barstow and James Richardson coming next. Number 7 of 10, and And with Robert Owen safe and in the finals, we now turn our attention to the one remaining spot for Saturday's finals in week 8. So the finals will include Aaron Monk, winner of Group A, Scott Baker, winner of Group C, runner-up in Group C, Colin Osborne, and the winner of Group B in Robert Owen. But as for the last remaining spot, that is now between James Richardson, Stephen Burton, and Chaz Barstow.
Okay, it's Chaz throwing first. Game on.
Stephen Burton has 2 matches remaining, as does Chaz and James.
100.
Whoever wins this one is going to be in the box seat, really. It's Richardson who is behind the 8 ball a little bit because he's only on 4 points.
80.
If he wins 4-2 here, for example, he will get to 6 points, the same as Chaz, and he will be on -3. And all of a sudden, Stephen Burton would be vaulted into 2nd spot, and he plays next against Wayne Warren. I'm not going to talk too much about the permutations because there are so many possibilities over the next 2 or 3 matches that I don't want to make your head spin as much as mine already is.
100.
So let's focus on the game at hand. Barstow is having his worst evening in an online darts live league night. He has started with 2 defeats. Lost to Wayne Warren 4-3. And has also lost to Stephen Burton after Stephen had a fine performance. But he has started with a purpose here.
Turn.
Double 14. 2 sevens from the angle.
Game in 3.
Really great dart. Just when he needed a really good dart, he comes up with one there. He knows what the situation is in this match. The destiny of the place, that is up for grabs. It's still in his hands. He's just got to use it. That infuriating defeat to Wayne Warren might still be on his mind. He shouldn't have lost that match. He had the better average. He had all the better statistics. He just didn't win the match.
100.
But to make things easier on himself, a win against James here will not only bolster his chances, but he will get rid of the possibility of James getting through. James will be eliminated. And it will just be between him and Stephen Burton.
180.
This is a better performance as well. Once a night, when he plays, he always puts in one blockbuster performance. It's just what he does.
1-2-1.
And this is a pretty good time to do that.
Oh yeah, great darts, Chaz. 40.
Richardson is currently at 4th in the table, only ahead of Wayne Warren
3-4.
on leg difference. He's behind Burton and Barstow on points, and 8 points adrift of Robert Owen, who has
60.
owned this group really. Two double 18s. There's one.
18 left.
And under pitches the second one. No shot at bull.
57.
And Richardson, who has missed shots at double 9 tonight already,
No score.
makes a different mistake. That one comes out of a rocket. And Barstow has a realistic opportunity of making him pay on tops.
Game in 3.
That's going to hurt James Richardson. That really will, because having 3 darts at double 9 after missing a shot for the leg already, you're thinking, just miss that and give me another shot. But Barstow looking clinical at 2-0. If it is to be Barstow and Burton vying for the second spot,
77.
the leg difference might come into play.
77.
As it stands, Barstow is on an all square leg difference, Burton on -1, so there's 1 in it.
96.
That's before this result, of course. And if Barstow can find a really, really big result, it would heap the pressure on Burton, who plays Wayne Warren next.
Tom.
Funnily enough, we had to try and separate Josh McCarthy and Colin Osborne
140.
this afternoon. They were level in their head-to-head for the group. At one point, they were level on leg difference, so we were looking at legs played and won.
180.
We might have to do the same with Burton and Barstow. Single 18 to lead tops. This is a really good leg. Great pressure applied by Richardson, but it's not been enough. Forcing himself to take out the 138. It seems like Chaz is getting all the right spots. Tops. There's been a little bit of that tonight, though. Giving himself the chance and not taking it. James Richardson has not taken his eyes off double 19 since he was at the back of the room.
Second dart.
And he's done the right thing. 14 dart and gets him back in the match. Take a deep breath, because this is quite a fast game. It is getting away from us a little bit, and is the result getting away from Chaz after losing out on a 3-0 advantage potentially? Well, let's find out as leg 4 begins. Don't forget to breathe. That's what I tell young players.
140.
This game has been so fast that I've forgotten to breathe myself.
95.
So looking at the scenario between Burton and Barstow, their head-to-head record is 1 game each.
140.
So they can't be separated in that respect. So if, for instance, it is Burton and Barstow
77.
on the same amount of points, and their leg difference is the same, we will have to look at how many legs they've won. If indeed that is the same, we'd have to look at their average over the course of the group. And that would be close as well, because both of them have had a ton average. So let's cross that bridge when we come to it. If we come to it. Straight for the ball.
45
It's
left.
what he does. I don't think it's prudent. But maybe I'm just showing my old school thinking
60.
of laying up for double 16 or double top. He's almost wasted a dart. 2 darts then.
2 darts.
And that's exactly what he uses. 14 darts it is again, as James Richardson has replied brilliantly from being 2-0 down. It's now 2-2. Into leg 4 we go. Leg 5 even. Getting behind myself. Sometimes it's pretty hard to keep up with these fast games.
99.
They are that enjoyable. You just want to put your feet up, relax, and enjoy. And I sincerely hope you are enjoying it as much as I am.
58.
Justin Wythe has got in touch on social media asking if Bertie's best performance was the last 16 of the Players' Championship. Well,
83.
I think he might say maybe, but getting to his first World Championship was a big deal for Stephen Burton.
60.
I suppose we'd have to ask him. Someone has said we should get Corey Cadby over for the Online Darts Live League. I think that might pull in a few viewers. I think that might be quite tricky to get him to travel though, Sam. There's a story behind that.
93.
It would be very interesting, though, to have Corey Cadby here. He would definitely be a bit feisty, wouldn't he?
10.
Well, Barstow is starting to lose traction in this game. He might be behind in a second.
140.
This is a very precarious position. Could be 3 consecutive 14 darters for James Richardson, this. He's gone for 2 tops. And he's got nothing with the first 2. That he's only got 1. Well, this is the turning point right here. And with Barstow missing tops twice, you've seen the pitfall of going tops for Richardson. Is he hitting double 11? Wow. I don't think I have ever seen anything like that on a dartboard, where someone scores 1 on approach on an 80 checkout, then takes out the 79 to take the lead. A somewhat mystifying minute of darts right there, as Richardson is 3-2 up. I still don't think, and you can talk my ears off if you wish, that going tops with 3 darts in hand is the right play. It's ignorant. Yes, he won the leg.
96.
He was very fortunate to win the leg, was James. But the tactical side of going tops, it doesn't make any sense.
10.
Barstow is looking down the barrel of potentially losing his first 3 games of the night, but still being in with a chance of getting second spot. He has been in control of second spot all night long. But that may have changed with that 79 out on double 11 from Richardson, who will drag himself into that race. And don't forget, he plays Stephen Burton in the last match of the night.
140.
Supreme approach from James. Well, 15's first on 125. I don't necessarily hate that route,
60.
but he needs mistakes from Richardson here. Otherwise, Barstow's in trouble. Double 4.
120.
He has. He's got it. Has he? No. I thought he was looking at the wrong score.
61 you wanted.
He wanted 61, not 65. He's just hit 65. Bull leaves 11 for James Richardson. He needed 344, not 366. Well, that's Bull. Now he needs exactly what James has done.
Come on.
That would have been unbelievably ironic. And you get the feeling that James is a little bit shaken by what has just occurred. But he's still got 54 left for the match. And he's missed the single. It has to be purely because of what happened in the previous visit. What a turn of events. As Barstow misses more. He can't believe it.
2 left.
And Richardson, who was throwing the leg away with his last dart of the previous visit, is now stuck on double 13. He's got to collect his thoughts. He's managed to collect 2 points, and he has confined Chaz Barstow to a 3rd consecutive defeat for the very first time in an online league night. Well, everybody, what an exchange we've just seen. Quite incredible to witness, but ultimately Barstow and Richardson and Burton are all now tied on 6 points. Over to you, Stephen Burton, because you now play Wayne Warren to take the lead in the race for second spot. feel like I need to lie down after the last match. I'm not going to lie. Match number 8 is Stephen Burton, and it will see the last game from Wayne Warren this week. That's one thing that we do know, because it is mathematically certain that either Chaz Barstow, James Richardson or Stephen Burton will get to 8 points and Warren will not be able to catch them. So how will he go out after his 5th day of competition for the week? He is playing against Stephen Burton, who is now in 2nd spot in the table. But this is how tight this race has become because of that previous result, where James Richardson won by 4 legs to 2 with an average of around 92. In fact, it dropped in the end to around about 89. So, 6 points for Stephen Burton.
92.
Leg difference of -1. Next, it's Barstow, 6 points and -2. Richardson next, 6 points and -3. 3 players separated by 2 legs.
100.
So, 3 matches to go. Burton plays Warren. Owen plays Barstow. Then Richardson plays Burton.
140.
These 3 matches will give us our 2nd place finisher. And then there's Robert Owen at the top of the table. Safe, 6 points clear.
45.
One more win for Robert Owen against Chaz
120.
Barstow. And that will also see him safe for the daily table with a perfect record tonight. We've just missed double 12 for a 144 out for Stephen Burton.
30.
But we could be looking at a 13 darter.
Into.
That's what we get. A 14, sorry, not a 13. But he is playing some very good stuff all of a sudden. He's just registered his first ton plus average of this group against Chaz Barstow in his previous performance, and he is continuing that vein right here. As the only player still alive for that 2nd spot, having 2 games
99.
left. The destiny of that silver medal position in Group B is very much in his hands.
180.
First maximum of the contest for Wayne Warren.
94.
Still trying to wrap my head around what happened in the last match. Of course, James thinking the game was up. He hit the wrong score. Ended up busting it and then
140.
eventually winning it anyway. One of the most incredible legs I think I've seen in quite a while.
98.
Love a bit of drama like that. Bit of a darting drama queen.
56.
Or maybe calling myself a darting drama magnet is a little bit more applicable.
80.
That's an unfortunate collision with the flight. Might have damaged the flight as well, as Wayne looks to equalise on double 10. This shot is very gettable. Bullseye.
105.
Would have been a 2-0 lead. He has to settle for 1-1 though, because 17 darts planted in the double 10 with the 17th. That is Wayne Warren equalising things up here, and he does not want to finish without another win before he goes back to South Wales, to the beautiful valleys. So will he find 3 more legs against Stephen, which would hurt his chances of playing tomorrow night?
133.
Stephen, who has his own window cleaning business in Suffolk,
125.
he is his own boss. Wouldn't have it any other way. completely agree.
134.
He is a bit of a board nomad. He does like to utilise different parts of the board, and I love players who do that. Jamie Caven's a bit like that. He'll go down to the
140.
19s, the 17s, the 18s, and he'll do so quickly as well.
84.
He's a bit like Jan Dekker in that respect. He likes to utilise different angles, different approach shots, but
180.
ultimately, when you've got someone like Wayne Warren who prefers to stay on the treble 20 and hits it, he's always going to cause you problems.
96.
Could be a Wayne Warren lead here. 16 and tops. Oh, look at that. It's 11 data, and it's a break of throw for Wayne Warren, who was causing issues for Stephen Burton. Even though he's playing really, really well in this match, he is now behind and has a lot on his mind. So, Bertie, what can you do in response? Over 10 difference in the averages here. Wayne averaging 92. Bertie averaging 104.
100.
Now, you know what they say when it comes to group format. If you're out, spoil
59.
other people's night. I played a lot of group format darts myself in Australia before I came back to the UK. The DPA circuit was round robin format into knockout format later the same day. So you got used to playing group
98.
format. Championship League darts, which was won by the likes of James Wade, Phil Taylor, Colin Osborne. Played a bit of that. Really enjoyed that as well. And of course Grand Slam, which is group format.
135.
Something that Wayne has sampled last year, albeit with little success.
40.
I personally would like to see the game of darts branch out into different formats. More double start formats. Maybe a little bit of cricket here and there. I think it's time we started looking at different games
58.
to try and test the flexibility of the players as to what they know. Double 10. He will be back for double 10. Here's us thinking that Stephen Burton was starting this match with a flourish.
58.
He was just going to steamroll the already eliminated Wayne Warren. What did we know?
Ten.
Back again. The scoring ability of Wayne in this game has given him plenty of chances.
90.
Double 5 this time. That is a really bad dart. Stephen Burton, who's great at the 2 dart conversions, isn't able to do it this
24
time.
left.
And this is no gimme. He had a bit of a forgettable leg earlier in the day with Robert Owen, but hasn't figured to make this one even more hard than it should be, because that 5 conversion was done with a bit of a smile. 3-1 up against Bertie now, and he's making this quest for the second spot even harder for him. If Burton doesn't win this game,
136.
his leg difference is going to suffer, and he's only occupied second spot in the table for a matter of minutes. He would hand second
100.
place back to Barstow without throwing a dart.
$97. One, two, five.
This is better from Burton.
140.
A lot of players might have gone to the 18s there. But he really fancied that 180.
You fight.
Is Warren faltering at the right time for Stephen? Gave him the luxury of not having to use the 18s
88.
first. Line up tops. After 12, there's been some excellent legs in this match. The averages don't really reflect how good the scoring has been in this game.
10.
Double 10.
30.
And that could be a very valuable miss. If Warren takes this out, the leg difference will suffer by 3 for Stephen Burton. 66 remain. Do not do a James Richardson and get it wrong. 16 for Bull. From the angle. Well, he's left 32.
32 left.
Stephen Burton to get within 1 of Wayne's position. Needs this double 5. Needs it.
In 3.
Finds it. Just tell by the angle of the entry of those 2 previous darts that there was a little sound before the third one planted in the green bit. A little flush off the other flights. It was a really good collision, and it gets him still in the match at 2-3 down. So the worst position from here for Stephen is if he loses this leg, he will go down to -3
81.
in his leg difference and remain on 6 points. That's the exact same position as James Richardson.
60.
If that is the case, we will have 3 players separated by 1 leg going into the last 2 matches.
60.
Both groups B and C going to the wire.
100.
And if you think about Group A for a second as well, which Wayne Warren was in, that one went to the penultimate game after 45 matches played. We were still unsure as to who was winning it at match 44. We needed a 4-2 victory for Andy Jenkins against Robert Owen
180.
just to see whether Aaron would win it. And he did, with Andy planting in a 130 checkout.
45.
Well, Burton has responded brilliantly.
137.
Leaves himself on double 12. He is a bit streaky sometimes. When he gets it right, he usually gets it right in spells. Using those somewhat similar darts to what
87.
Mervyn King used to use with the scallops in them.
In 1.
12s for the streaky Stephen. And he is going to the end of this game looking to widen his gap at second position. It was all getting a bit troublesome for Stephen a little bit earlier, but now he's very much in control of this situation.
81.
If Stephen Burton
81.
wins this game and Chaz loses again to Robert Owen next, Chaz is out.
97.
And I'm sure there were a lot of people thinking that Barstow was going to make it through this group tonight with Robert Owen. Looking at the schedule, a lot of people might have thought that Owen versus Barstow in Game 9 would have been for the top spot in the group.
97. 80.
The best that Chaz Barstow can really hope for now is for a massive win against Owen. A
180.
win on leg difference, but because now Stephen Burton with that maximum sets up a match-winning chance after being 3-1 down. He's looking at 4-3 in the up
24.
column. He has been the better player throughout this match statistically,
Into.
and he is the better player because he has got the 4-3 win. A really good blitz of 3 straight legs from Stephen Burton gets him to 8 points, and he is in second place on his own on points. Can Chaz Barstow usurp his position with his final game of the group against the table topper, Robert Owen? Last chance saloon for Chaz Barstow, who has not had things go his way tonight. He's not played poorly at times, but he has missed some key doubles most of the games he has played. He is now 2 points behind Stephen Burton in third position, but one more win could get him through. He is going to have to beat an undefeated Robert Owen from this evening, and he may have to do so by a certain margin. We're still doing our sums to see what is possible, because it's a very complicated situation. If you've had a little wager on Barstow making the final or winning this group, well, he's not going to win the group because this guy already has. With Barstow on 6 points and -2, and Burton already on 8 points and an all square leg difference. Surely Barstow has got to win this big. I'm talking 4-0, 4-1.
34.
If indeed he wins 4 legs to 2 and equalises Stephen Burton's total of 8 points and level on the leg difference,
100.
he then would require James Richardson to win the next match by the tightest margin.
180.
We're coming down to Permutation United tonight, and there's only 9 minutes left of Friday night as we go into Saturday morning.
134.
But if he doesn't beat Robert Owen, it's bye-bye Barstow. And if that does happen,
140.
Owen will win the group with 14 points, and he will win the daily table with 8. It will have been a very bossy performance in this group, and he will finish the group with only 1 defeat, which was to Chaz yesterday. Treble 17 for double 18. To take the first leg,
Game in 3.
Tremendous from Chas Barstow. He hasn't been able to buy doubles at certain points tonight, but he started this one with a huge check out. His best check out of the last 8 weeks. 147, no reds, no colours, just 3 in the right beds. That was almost poetic, wasn't it?
Come on.
No colours,
60.
no reds, just 3 in the right beds. There's definitely something in that. If you do something regular enough in this game, you can have certain shots named after you. There is such a thing as a Richie Edhouse 9 darter now, because twice on the PDC Pro Tour he has taken out the 174, 174, 153 9 darter. He's done it on 2 occasions, so that is now affectionately known as the Edhouse 9.
97.
And of course double 14 is known as the Mensa Sulovic. 302, done the 18s route, is known as the Rob Cross. Barstow, who needs a huge performance here. And based on what he does in this match, will tell us what needs to happen in the last match.
100.
When he played in the finals in week 2, he was going up against Robert Thornton for the title. He ended up beating Robert in the last game of the night to secure
Wrong.
that week 2 title.
81.
He has been the better player so far in this one.
137.
Very, very tidy. And with Owen on 163, he's guaranteed to come back for 24. But tonight, this has been the problem. Too many times he's had 3 darts at a double and not taking it. Double 3.
Game in 3.
It hasn't happened this time. He's been around the houses. He takes a 2-0 lead in quick fashion. This is what he does. But this time he clings on as he finds double 3 after that 147 check in the first leg. He's looking to get 3-0 now. It's all going his way. The best case scenario for Barstow is a 4-0 win.
60.
If he does that, he will finish on 8 points and +2.
96.
If that happens, James Richardson is out because he wouldn't be able to catch Barstow. It would be only Stephen
60.
Burton who could beat him in the table.
100.
$60.
I wouldn't blame Stack Attack for feeling a little bit puffed out here because he's played
100.
3-day sessions this week. 15 matches in total. He played 4 matches last night. This is his 4th match tonight. That's 23 matches this week. And he's got another 4 tomorrow night.
96.
Chaz looks the fresher to me. Rob's been excellent tonight. He really, really has. He's plucked his way towards enough points to get
60.
through. He just looks like he's reaching for the oxygen tank a little bit.
32 left.
Yes, indeed it is. It's all going right for Barstow.
58.
Is he looking at 3-0?
Game in 1.
There it is. 16 darter from Chaz Barstow. That's another break. So the ideal scenario of 4-0 is very much alive, and more so because he has a double break now. One more hold and he will heap pressure on Stephen Burton. — . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . .
139.
Maybe Robert's not feeling any pressure. I'm sure he wanted to have that perfect day. He was in position to have a perfect day on Wednesday, but he lost his last match against Andy Jenkins. Could the same happen again? It's looking very likely.
Oh, 61.
The silver lining is we will see him tomorrow night. In about 3 minutes' time, we'll be seeing him tonight.
Rob, come on, man. 60.
Barstow's got him just where he wants him. Just got to put him away.
100.
And make no mistake, Chaz Barstow is a very, very good front runner. The average is very healthy, around 98.
60.
With 13 better than Robert Owens at 85.
59.
That's enough. 140 lead is always welcomed.
140.
The lead is gone, but he still has the darts. Tops for the win. First match dart gone. I wonder if Robert Owen's going to go the same route. Well, that would have been incredible. Starting with a 147 out and finishing with a 142. Double 11. Oh, it's a huge shot. And Chaz Barstow can't believe it. And in a night where things are coming down to possibly just the one leg, we've seen a mismatch dart for a 142 and then a 142 hit by Robert Owen. Phenomenal stuff. Not sure I can take much more of this drama this week. That is the first dart at a double that Robert has had in the match. And now the scenario, or the best scenario for Chaz, is that he can get to +1.
Wow.
That invites James Richardson back into the fold.
180.
Barstow should get more match darts. My heart is still beating from that end to leg 4. Two very different ways to go for 142. I personally like the 17s route.
32
But
left.
what a response from Barstow! After missing a match dart on a 142 checkout, he has left himself on a 10-darter in response to have been hit in charge of the situation. But we now go down to the very last match between Burton and Richardson to see who goes through. Is it Burton, is it Richardson, or is it Barstow? back to the last match of tonight's Online Darts Live League in Group B, sorry, not group numbers. Match number 95 of the week. The final 10 matches of the week will be the finals later on today in around about 21.5 hours time, and that will be Chris Mason in the chair. But who will he be calling in? We know Aaron Monk is there. We know that Colin Osborne is there. We know that Scott Baker is there. And we also know that Robert Owen has won this group, so he will be there. What we do not know is who fills that last spot.
Game on.
We do now have confirmation, after some furious calculator action in the last few minutes, is that James Richardson cannot qualify.
55.
But he can have a huge say as to who does. Judging by the previous result of Chaz Barstow, he has made sure
180.
that one of his rivals in James cannot make it. So it's between Stephen Burton and it is between him and Chaz Barstow.
81.
If Stephen wins this match, he is through. It's that simple.
Ton.
When you're in a group format and you just have to win a match to get through, that's all you need to know. If I win, am I in? Stephen, yes, you're in if you win.
43.
And he started very, very well here. He's had some excellent performances tonight.
105.
He'll be happy with the pace of this game. Like he was happy with the Barstow pace. And obviously happy with the Wayne Warren pace because that was a good performance in winning 4 legs to 3. Doesn't get a shot at double 18.
42.
If James Richardson wins this match, Chaz Barstow is through to his second finals in a matter of 7 weeks. 56 left. Now 40.
In 3.
In she goes for the first leg, and Stephen Burton does start with a very good purpose in a quest to win 4 legs in this best of 7 match. 1 down and 3 to go for him. If James Richardson wins by 4 legs to 1, 4 legs to 2, or 4 legs to 3,
59.
Chaz will progress to the finals on leg difference. But if James had won, I say that past tense because he won't now,
40.
Chaz would have got through on overall legs 1, 25 to 23. So that scenario is now scrubbed. It's all about the
60.
leg difference now and whether James can do Chaz a favour. The match between James
60.
and Chaz was quite exhilarating for a few reasons. It was a good game, but the drama
58.
towards the end where we had James thinking he'd won the match, but he'd hit the wrong shot. And then he eventually won the leg anyway. He had his head spinning, and everybody else's as
Right.
well. Well, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody, the Online Darts Live League, the backroom staff, the producers, the executive producer, everybody involved
39.
who has made this a safe and competitive environment. All of the players who have played have made this incredibly enjoyable. All of the organisers,
59.
the sponsors, of course, Marshall Group, Red Dragon, Service Sure, the DJ shop, everybody involved. We really are thankful. Double 16.
46.
Burt looking to double his lead with a maximum checkout.
$105.
To level things up and to make Chaz a little happier.
First out.
There we have it, right in the middle with those really, really grippy darts that he's been using for a few weeks now. starting to get used to them. We're down to a best of 5 scenario. Could we go down to a last leg decider, which could be to see who gets through? We just don't know yet. A big thank you to Red Dragon Darts, darts that deliver, one of our key sponsors here at the Online Darts Live League, who have provided us with the Winmore Blade 5 dartboard, the best dartboard out there. It's been
100.
my privilege, and of course the privilege of Chris Mason, to bring you all of the action. I will make way for Chris for later today, as I go in for surgery on Tuesday and start my recovery of a long-standing injury to my elbow.
57.
It's going to be a difficult process over the next couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to coming back 100% healthy at some point, so I can potentially be where these players are.
58.
We have had one person pick up 2 weekly titles over the course of the last 8 weeks, and that was Kevin Burness. He went back to back in weeks 4 and 5.
135.
Chaz is the only other person who can potentially get a second weekly title. Robert Owen doesn't have one. Osborne doesn't have one.
174.
We have a 174 though to leave 32. That was a destructive approach shot from Stephen. 25 for Bull. Oh, really? Too good.
8 left.
Double 16.
In 1.
And it's in there. Such fine margins in this game. This is delivering so much tonight. 2 bullseyes to leave 25, and you can't check that out, but you can take the 32, and you have to admire Stephen Burton, who took 206 points in 4 darts to take leg 3.
$171.
This time he is skirting around the board, and early on a Saturday morning, he gets the white horse. I'm not going to do the sound effect, I promise.
57.
When he got the 174, I should have done the Anthony Dundas and given it the old belt out for the 174.
60.
I've been asking some people today what their highlights have been over the last 8 weeks.
85.
I've heard about Aaron Monk's 121 out, Bull, treble 7 Bull. James's 9 darter.
180.
Maybe the drama that we've seen for the last couple of days in Wednesday's group, which was an incredibly good group, and what we've seen tonight.
140.
It's up there. But Stephen Burton is in control. Gets the 225s.
50.
And has a guaranteed visit back at tops.
99.
Can he find tops? That one didn't come out of his hand right.
30.
That one came out too quickly. Stephen, who made the finals in week 4, which was won by Burness, is looking for his second attempt
40.
at getting a weekly title. He came 5th in week 4.
Into.
But he is not going to finish in 3rd by the looks of it, because he is now 3 to the good. Only has 1 more leg to go, and if he gets it, he will eliminate Chaz Barstow and be in the finals later today to have another crack at a weekly title. Ahead of him in the week 4 finals,
140.
not just Burness who won, but Martin Adams, Darren Beveridge and Greg Ritchie, who had a very, very good week 4 in coming through
97.
Group B. Beveridge and Ritchie also made the final the following week. But that was again won by Burness.
140.
dare say we will see plenty of Darren Beveridge and his
84.
Scottish pals in the future. They, for me, were one of the highlights of the last 8 weeks. I really enjoyed watching them play.
85.
Don't forget, if Richardson wins this 4-3, Barstow is through.
64.
But if Burton wins, he's through. It's pretty simple now. My head has been spinning all night with permutations.
96.
The only thing I didn't know coming into this game is just what the predicament was for James. We had to tot up all of the head-to-heads,
60.
and the legs won. Unfortunately for James, he hasn't done enough previous to this game to give himself a chance. Double top.
20.
He'll come back for that double 10.
$58.
Will he get it right this time? Getting closer,
No score.
but not close enough. Burton for a place in the finals. His first opportunity
98.
isn't taken, but he gets plan B just in case James has more trouble. Down in the 4 o'clock position.
First down.
No trouble. 1 down and 2 to go. Chaz Barstow will be thinking that right now. He did score better ultimately in that leg, did James Richardson. If he does that 2 more times, he might just squeak this one. First he has to break.
82.
Stephen knows he has to win this match. It's not about leg difference. It's about points. Robert Owen has won the group on 12 points and plus 11.
60.
He's been safe for a while. Robert Owen has finished the daily table with 6 points and plus 4.
94.
If Stephen Burton wins this game 4-2, Robert Owen wins the daily table as well.
So,
In fact, by my maths, Robert Owen has already sealed that daily win for a second day in succession.
ton.
He can't be caught. So if you've had a little flutter on Robert Owen to win the daily table, well done.
81. $51.
Got to get to a finish here.
Ton.
Able to do so. We have seen a 160 from Stephen in the last couple of days.
98.
It would be rather ironic if we go to the last leg decider because of a 160. Could we? Very, very nearly. And this is a lot easier than 138, which he had last time. And he's missed the big number.
Oh, wow. 41.
What on earth? James Richardson will be looking for a high single here to take us to the last leg of Group B. Double 10.
3 down.
And he hits it from the side of the oche as well. He didn't go back to the middle to try and reset the throw. He threw it from nearly 8 feet and it's gone in. So, 1 leg decider. Stephen Burton wins this leg. He's through to the finals. If James Richardson wins it on the throw, Chaz Barstow is through. Maybe it's a good thing I'm not doing the finals later because I don't know how much of this drama I can handle. Any further thoughts of Burton and Barstow right now?
60.
One of them is going to go to bed tonight feeling rather sick. But the fact of the matter is,
59.
Stephen had 76 to win his way through to the finals, and he did not get a shot at double. He missed 2 big singles.
Ton.
He was 3-1 up and
Ton.
apparently cruising towards his ticket for Saturday night. You heard from Barstow when he beat Robert Owen, consequently with 102.71 average and 50% on doubles. When he hit the double 16 at the end, he said, come on. He knew that his chance was still there. It was still alive.
43.
Well, looking at this situation, it's very much alive. It's not a classic last leg, but Richardson still got the darts. And Group B would finish if
38.
Richardson wins the match with 3 players on 8 points.
99.
He has got one more shot. He's at 138. He's had 76 and 140 to win through to the finals. He has not had a shot at double yet. And he's not going to get one here. But James Richardson should get a shot at least the bullseye
60.
to knock him out. Big 18 for the bull. He's done it! Chaz Barstow's going to go through. Ah, what a dramatic night. What a group this has been. What a week. Every single group has gone right down to the wire. Online Darts Live League drama to the maximum. But it's bullseye at the end for Richardson, who finishes on 8 points in the group. And Bertie is heartbroken as Barstow qualifies for the finals with the 5th and final ticket. Well, I hope you enjoy that. I know I did. I'm going to sign out from now because I've got stuff to do next week. I've got to be on the operating table on Tuesday morning. So, adios for now. Thank you for tuning in via the Online Darts YouTube channel and via your favourite bookmakers. Thanks to all our sponsors, our backroom staff, and to all the players. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to the fans for watching. We will see you very soon. And stay tuned for the finals in about 21 hours' time with Chris Mason. Hasta la vista, babies. See you soon.